Hello everyone, coming at you from family's house. Came to visit here, but didn't want to wait to have to open up this little guy I got in the mail before I left. I am a big Jojo fan, and yeah, I've just been on a big Jojo kick ever since Snow Motion has released on Netflix. So anyways, I got really excited about this little guy, Narancia. He's Nendoroid 1684, and I actually got him from Good Smile Global, so I have the pre-order bonus, which I don't know, like the pre-order bonus for this one I think is pretty cool, but I think it should have came with it anyway. Sometimes the pre-order bonuses I think are kind of cop out. It's like, you should have put it with that anyway. But I am so excited to open him up. He will probably, I have Kakyoin from Part 3 coming in. I got him from the US store, so he's set to release this month from them, but who knows, he's been delayed like 3-4 times already. But for now I got Narancia. So anyway, let's go ahead and open this fella up, shall we? So looking at the box, the cool thing about the Jojo boxes, and this light does really great on being able to see this part, you actually have like the sound effects on like the white parts. So like the front and the top and the bottom, as well as you have the kind of like design on the sides and the back that are from that particular Jojo part. So Golden Wind has like the Golden Wind pattern, and the other should have the patterns that go, or particular patterns that go along with the other parts. That is a good way to tell if you have a bootleg or not. Also, like the Metacos logo right here is also a good indication, because I have seen a lot of Josuke bootlegs online recently, and it's kind of like scary and a dead giveaway. Also, the backs look really weird for bootlegs, but if you could see the pattern in the boxes, most of the time that is a good indication that your item is legit. It also helps if you get it from like actual like good sources, like Good Smile or Ami or any reputable online retailer. But like if you're getting them in the aftermarket and you see one like on eBay, just check and make sure that you see the signs of a bootleg or not, because bootleggers will sit there and try to sell bootlegs for obscenely high prices when you can actually get bootlegs off of Chinese websites for like maybe $10 at the most with shipping. But anyways, let's go ahead and open this pretty little fella up. You can actually, like, I absolutely love his eye color, it's so pretty. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what we got inside. So here's a good look at what we have inside. We have Narancia himself, which his outfit is actually pretty nicely painted as far as or from what I can see, as far as the colors. I like the bright colors and the contrast between them. You also have his stand and his little eyeglass thing for his stand, or his scope for his stand, which is really cool, because most of the Jojo Nendoroids don't really come with stands, and the ones that do, most of the time they're acrylic or partially acrylic, because Mista had a came with his stand, but one of the bullets was actually like plastic, where the other ones were like an acrylic stand. So this is cool. This is one of the only ones, if not the only one I've seen that came with this stand like fully in plastic. He also has, I forgot the guy's name from the La Squadra that he fought that turns tiny. But he has that. He has his little knife he likes to threaten people with. And then his faces. Like, he's got a standard face. He's got your generic, typical JoJo action yelling face. And then he's got this happy face. And I actually really like the happy face, even though I don't know what I would pose him with this happy face. I actually think it's really cute. And it does really look like Narancia. And then, of course, in the back you have the standard base and the peg to put in the back. But I bought this one from this base from Chibi Chop Shop to kind of look like this, like maybe like the street from one of the scenes of him actually using his stand. And plus, I don't know, like I thought he would look weird without like some form of special stand, because all my JoJo Nendoroids have like special stands anyway. But yeah, and just in case you don't know, all the JoJo Nendoroids are action Nendoroids, so they have the joints in here, so they're movable. That's why you don't see many different arms, they're just different hands. Anyways, let's go ahead and take him out of the plastic, because as you see, he's even got bubble wrap on these. And we'll get him in a couple different poses. So here is the first pose I decided to take and do his happy face with him holding the enemy in his hand. I thought this was really cute. I do like. I do like the fact that his little skirt thing is kind of made more out of like a rubber or like soft plastic material. So it's a little bit more flexible, so I liked that part. All of his joints seem to be good, like they're stiff enough but not being too stiff. The issues I have that I noticed, now be very careful with his hair. I did notice I had one little mark right here, which I could probably just fix that with like a dab of paint or something, just because they're super sharp, or they're super pointy. I wouldn't say they're super sharp, but you do need to be careful because you don't want it to break. I did see a seam line right there, which that's kind of normal, but overall the hair, I don't know if you can tell in this light, but the wrap in his hair, like this up here is almost like a darker shade of orange than this back here. Like there are two different shades of oranges, and it wasn't done very precisely. As you can see, there's bleeding right there, and then there's a huge blob of black right there. Like it just doesn't look like it was put on very well. But like if you're gonna show them from the front, it's not going to be a big deal. And I mean, I guess I could live with this, but it's just really, like you can see right here, it might just be that the front and the back are two different materials, or they painted them in two different kinds of way. But it's just very odd. And see, there's another seam right there, but I think that kind of, yeah, right there is another seam. But overall, I think he's really cute. And then he also has that issue with that most JoJo Nendoroids have, or like half of them have, where they have the gap issue in the side where the front and the back meet. And this one is no exception. His front and back hairpiece don't really meet all that well. and there's like a little bit of a gap in there. But like I said, if you're displaying him from the front, it's really not that big a deal. But I really do like this faceplate. Like, I wasn't going to pose him like this, but after all is said and done, if I don't like any of the poses turn to the side that much, I might just pose him like this. But anyways, let's go ahead and put him in a different pose. So here is the next pose. This took me a while. I'm going to say this propeller, be very, very careful with it. Like, I put it in and I was like, okay, let me try to take it out, and one of the propeller wings almost snapped off immediately. So I was like, okay, let me stop this for a second and not do that. So when I put it back in the box, I have no idea how I'm going to maneuver that. So pray that it will not break. Anyways, this is actually a pretty cool pose. It took a lot to put together though. And it was a little bit of a headache. Something I did notice though, if you look here, like, you can see, oh, you can't really see it all that well. There it is. You can see the seam lines on both sides going all the way down. That bothers me. I don't like seam lines, especially if they're like kind of like unnecessary, when they could have took an extra month and smoothed it out. So that kind of upsets me a little bit, but it is what it is. Anyways, other than that, like, it really is cool. Like, I really do actually like this pose for an action pose. I'm going to open, for the last pose, I'm going to open the pre-order bonus, because it's him with his arms laying out flat for when his stand Aerosmith either lands or takes off. So I really wanted to see how that turned out, or how that pose turned out. So I will be right back. Now, this pose is actually pretty dang cool. Like, I actually really like this pre-order bonus pose. Mista's, I was kind of like, okay. But I actually really like Narancia's pre-order bonus pose. The only thing that concerns me, if you can tell, I didn't push the arms all the way in, because the pegs have a tendency to be a little bit bigger than the default pegs, and I'm like, I don't want to make his regular arms completely useless and have them like flop off if I decide to put him back in a different pose. So I might just take like a light sander, light sanding to the actual peg, just to like shrink it down a little bit to where it's not like insanely bigger than the standard ones. I also did like the fact that it comes with this little peg thing that you fit on the wrist, and so the plane actually sits on his arm, like it's actually starting to take off, which is really cool, and actually looks a lot better than using these things. I mean, even though these things get the job done, I'd much prefer something of this nature, because you don't have that little peg standing in the way. Also wanted to note the Jojo Nendoroids have a tendency to have big feet, and the feet can slightly move as well. But yeah, overall, this Nendoroid design does have a bit of its problems. It's like the back hairpiece, if you see, is really, really tiny. So the back has a tendency to want to fall off when you are switching out your headpieces, and he also has a pretty big gap between the faceplate and the actual like front hairpiece. I think a little bit of it was somewhat rushed between the paint here and the seam line on the seam line right here isn't that bad, but the seam line right there is kind of bad. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's right there. I mean, he does have dark hair, so it's not as apparent as if he had, like, blonde hair. But I would say like, I like this added accessory of him, and he comes with a lot more things. But I actually think I like the Mista Nendoroid slightly better. Just because even with all of his defects and a little bit of smudging here and there, he felt more solid to me, I guess. And I don't feel like none of his parts were necessarily rushed. Not to say that I don't still love Narancia, because I absolutely love this one. But I feel like Nendoroids as of lately, like, they've gotten rather sloppy with some of the releases, like the paint and the especially like the seam lines. I've seen so many seam lines lately that used to be smoothed out on some of your older Nendoroids. So it makes me kind of nervous as far as, like, they better get Jolene, like, right on the money, because I'm gonna be irritated if they don't. But anyways, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm probably actually going to do a video of Kyakyowin when he comes in as well. But yeah, I hope that y'all enjoyed the video. I hope it didn't sound too much of a downer. I just really like Jojo, and sometimes like rushed releases kind of have a tendency to irritate me, especially when it's something that you really like and you really enjoy. But I would say if you like Narancia, I definitely get him, especially if you can get him with the pre-order bonus, because the pre-order bonus makes the Nendoroid worth it. Without it, it's kind of like, if he's your best boy, yeah, I'd go ahead and do it. By far my favorite Nendoroid is Bucciarati. I am partial to him, but, like, as far as quality and accessories and everything he comes with, he's, like, the best. Anyways, going on another rant. If y'all like this video, leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, let me know what upcoming Nendoroid y'all are excited about. But yeah, until next time, see y'all later. Yeah, so quick follow-up. I take back what I said about the seam lines not bothering me. There are a lot. There's not just two. There's also that paint splotch up there. There's a small one right here. There's another one right here that goes all the way down into the head wrap. I didn't even notice this paint splotch right there. Or like this kind of like break in the paint. There's that one right there. There's one all the way across the back of his head. Yeah, so he is littered with issues with his hairpiece. Like, terrible. Like, you see that. Like, that's like the worst I've ever seen in any Jojo Nendoroid, period. Maybe the worst in any Nendoroid, period. But yeah, I thought I'd let y'all know. Don't know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I would say, unless he is your favorite, I would avoid his release and maybe skip this one. Hope this info helped. Thanks.